One of the most common questions I get from customers is how do they get the live edge bark off of their slab? Today I'm going to be showing you how I go about doing that. So these are the tools that I like to use. This is an Estwig from Home Depot. This is $19.99 there. They label it as a molding puller. You can get the same thing from Harbor Freight minus the brad nail puller spot, which you don't really need for this, for $3.99. I also like to use a mallet, and I'll show you why. This works really well for soft wood barks like redwood and cedar. It doesn't work as well for walnut or things of that nature. I'm going to show you why I like to use this to get the bark off. I like to put it in here at the end, give it a couple taps. They all kind of come off differently, but then I like to just work it off. But a lot of the time I'll start at each end. That's my favorite way. Alright, we're gonna try this on this walnut slab right here. The walnut kind of sometimes tends to break easier, but it's harder to get in one piece. But I still like to use this on there. But it's probably easier to use a draw knife, but on some of these ones where it goes out like this and all this figures in here, I don't really like to use the draw knife. Doesn't work as well on some barks that are like this, because a lot of the times they tend to tear. That's what I've noticed. They don't come off as clean, but you can still use this pretty good. Let's try it on this oak. Other species that are kind of hard with this method because they like to break is maple, but sometimes you can get long ones. Draw knife is probably faster on those, but for redwood I found that this works really well, also cedar. But walnut, maple, things with this flat bark like this, draw knife is probably faster and easier. Now don't you go getting discouraged if they don't all come off that easy. Some of them come off easy and some of them want to fight you to the death, it feels like. One factor that is going to determine how easy or how hard that fight is going to be is when the tree was cut down. If it was cut down in the winter time, the bark is going to want to cling on to there. If it was cut down in the summertime, it's a lot easier to get the bark off of there because the sap was running. There's a sap gap right there that you can get in and pop it off. Another factor is how long ago the slabs were cut. If they're cut fresh or if they've been aged. If they've been aged, it's gonna wanna pop off a lot easier in whole pieces. If it's fresh, it's gonna wanna come off more in strips because the cambium layer is not coming off as well a lot of the time. It'll come off in pieces. It'll come off cambium layer and then it'll come off bark. So those are the two biggest factors that'll determine how hard or how easy that fight will be for you.
Back 'em up!